We always end our show with something outside of politics, and you and I share an interest in a murder mystery series from the great nation of Canada. Tell me how you got started reading the Three Pines books by Louise Penny.
I hate nonfiction books. No, I don't hate them. I just don't do them. I recognize this as a flaw of mine. Outside of like the absolute classics, I just didn't spend any time. I read all the time, and it's almost always, again, a hypocrite, presidential biographies, right? Like it's just I'm addicted to that. And I have a neighbor, a dear friend of mine, who is the exact opposite of me in almost every single way. And I just want to say, like, what are you reading? You're weirdo. You always got dragons you're talking about and love stories on different planets that I had to world build. It made no sense to me. And so I said, give me like a step in that direction. And she is just through and through. I think she's related to Gamache in her soul. And she said, start here. And I did, and I got through it. It's entertaining. The characters are great. It is the absolute opposite world I live in, even if we're not into aliens yet. And it was just satisfying. Like It was just a comforting thing. And then there's, I don't know how many of them now, 21. And so I liked the continuation of these different mystery, but it's more about the characters and the life they built, including Ruth Zardo, who I think might be my spirit animal. So it was a recommendation on me being like, get me out of my space here. And she said, I got you. And I've been thankful ever since.
Did you start with book 1 and just make your way through in order?
Of course, because I'm not going to start at 17, then go back to 1. I know that's an option, but I guess that's more revealing about who I am. But yes, you start at the beginning. You have to.
Well, I did not, Casey.
You psychopath.
I know. Well, I had heard about the Louise Penny series forever. I read the book that she did with Hillary Clinton that has like a Gamache reference, but he's kind of ancillary. And I thought it was interesting and good. And so I was at the library and I found one of the books. I think it was like the 4th book maybe. And I picked it up because it's impossible to check her stuff out of my library. It's always like on a wait list. Yep. So I took the 4th book and I read it and I really liked it. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to commit to this. And I told my husband, I was like, I need you to find these books for me and buy them for me and put them on my Kindle. And so he did.
Okay. So at least you're not scattershotting around. You went 4, then
1.
The series. Okay.
Correct.
So I take back the psycho. Just weird.
It's a little psycho. It's not how I would have preferred to have done it, but I did it. I totally agree with you, though. Whenever I tell people about these books, I say, like, the dead body is just a vehicle to launch a new story and let these characters continue to develop. So you mentioned Ruth Zardo. She is a poet in this tiny little town of misfits, and her poetry is really the thread that weaves all these books together, I think, as much as Gamache, who is the detective who's solving our mysteries.
100%. And again, I'm not a fan of poetry. I don't know that I've ever sat down and ever just read a poem of my own choosing, but like the author is so good at just humanizing the world. And it's kind of this comforting, again, West Wing type mentality of people can be good, that there is huge real problems that affect a lot of folks, even if we don't see it on their surface. And she just gives you a space, including the most rich food including ingredients I've never heard of, let alone tried. Like she just creates a world where we can be human and be kind. And I think if the poetry is a through line, but I think just kindness is as well. And if I can channel that kindness in every single interaction, I think we definitely won't be in a worse spot.
It's like a raw kindness, though. You know, these people are really kind, but they're
human,
mean, and
they're
moody,
petty and jealous. Yes,
exactly.
They're human, and if they always return, probably led by this by the Gamache, like a stability, comforting factor of like, we can be better, we should be better, and it starts with each and every one of our individual interactions. Even if Ruth, you're crazy and you're drunk half the time, and your duck's cussing at me, like that's real, and there's a beauty in that too.
Yeah, it's the loveliest series. You sent me a hat, which I really appreciate.
It's actually from my dear friend Bailey Weaver, who she was wearing the hat, and I was like, I know someone who will rock this too, and so that's from her. It's second degree gift.
Thank you very much, Bailey. Well, I am going to now send you a book of poems because you could not hurt my feelings more than saying I've never sat down and read a book of poetry. So I'm just going to see if I can change your orientation to the medium.
To opening it.
I appreciate that.
That's as far as I'll get.
I will take it out of the box. I hear you. But maybe just sitting there, it'll call to you sometimes.
Maybe.